Welcome back to Banana Engineering. Welcome back to our punching tool assembly. Right now I want to talk about the base plate, how the base plate is made. The base plate looks like this. What's important about this part is to use the sketch several times. Afterwards you can do the guiding block by yourself and the vertical plate, but I will discuss both parts as well. So let's get started with the base plate. We go on File, New, Standard Part, Create, start a sketch. On the XY plane, we project the horizontal and the vertical plane into our sketch to work with it. Make a rectangle, place it on the X line, make sure it snaps to the X-axis. I want to make the vertical line as a construction line, so we can go on symmetric and make the left side and the right side, click both, to the center symmetric. We add the dimension, it's 170. Okay, and at first I want to talk about the most important thing. It's the hole in the center with an 8mm diameter where the punch goes through. This is the most important thing. I could make a point and later take the hole feature, but in this case I just take a circle with the right dimension. That's good enough. This hole has a distance of 38mm from the edge. And now all the holes that are around this hole, they are symmetric to this hole as well. So let's make 4 points that we later use. So we make them symmetric to the vertical line. Go on symmetric, point, 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 and here. They are also vertical, so go on vertical, point, point, and now the points are all vertical, but they're not symmetrical to this 8mm hole so far. Therefore, I draw another line, switch this line to construction, and now I can use the symmetry tool again. Point, point, this time this line as a center line. Now you can see all the points are moving symmetrically around the 8mm punching hole. So we bring in the distances. It's 16mm here, and this distance is a 26. Why don't I use the 25 and the 51? Because the part that is going to fit to those holes is the guiding block, and the distances of the holes is 26 here. So I use rather the 26 and the 16 instead of those numbers here. So now we're going to create the points on the edge. Therefore, I personally like to have a line which I switch to a construction line. Then I can place the points, 4 points on this line, 1, 2, 3, 4, make them all symmetric to the vertical line, like so, this, give this one the dimension from the edge, it's 7mm, insert the dimensions of the holes from each other. 64 and 86. And now we're done with the basic sketch. Finish the sketch. Now we have to extrude. Go on extrude, go on the surface, and I take the positive Z direction, entering a 14, and that's okay. And I consider this side here as the bottom and this as the top, as the sketch lies on this side. So to drill in the holes, I have to reuse the sketch I created. Therefore, open up the extrusion, go on the sketch, right click, and share sketch. Now you can see this little hand below the sketch, and the sketch is also shown here at the top of the extrusion. Now I can use the holes again. So right now I want to make the holes. Go on holes. And normally if you start a sketch, the program chooses all the points you made in the sketch, but actually we don't want all the holes, we only want a few. So we're going to unselect the holes by drawing a box over all the points. And now we choose the points we need for the 6mm hole separately, like so. Go here, simple hole, no seed, termination, through all. So it's important to flip the directions, like if you only see one or none hole, flip the direction, go in here for 6mm, and then we're done. Now we are going to make the threads. Go on hole. We uncheck the dots. Now those two will be a thread. We go here on tabbed hole. Go on isometric profile. Choose M6. Termination through all. And now we have to make sure that we go full depth. And then we go here and here. That's it. That's those two we need. And say OK. Finally, we make those two holes. Go here. The last ones are already chosen. So go here on clear hole, take the counter bore, go on ISO. We choose the right screw we will put in. So this time it's the 4762. Choose M6. And now we have the right dimensions for our counter bore. Say OK, and that's it. So in case you have problems with the holes, I will show you an extra tip. Let's go back to edit the feature. Now if you want to unselect, I showed you before, you can make this box, or you can click the point separately and click the point separately as well, unchecking it by holding the shift and not pointing at the middle, but a little bit besides of the cross. And then you can uncheck as well. We have to insert the fillet on the edges with a 5, this and this one, 5 radius. And now we have to do the little cut on the upper surface. Go here, start sketch, make rectangle again. From the edge to the other edge with a width of 14mm. Now everything is purple, that looks great, nothing is green. We check Finish Sketch, go Extrude, and here on the cut, profile is selected, distance, we have a 2 mm cut. So the only thing we have left to do is uncheck the visibility of the sketch so everything looks fine. Now you can save this part as the base plate, and you can start with the guiding block, making this pattern the same way, and I will shortly show you how I build up the guiding block. Okay guys, let's talk about the guiding block. I just opened the part, but at first I want to have a look at the drawing. So the pattern for the holes is the same that we made on the base plate. And those are the other dimensions. So let's go to the guiding block. That's how it looks like, and I will show you the history of the guiding block. So at first I made an extrusion, and in this extrusion I already have the points for the holes I have to drill later. You have to work with the symmetric constraints again. Now go right click on sketch. Don't forget to reuse the sketch to share the sketch. Afterwards I put in this extrusion, and you can either make a sketch that looks like this part on the bottom surface of the part, or you can make a sketch like this. Next thing is reuse the holes and drill all the holes, and then you're done with the guiding block. So let's have a closer look at the vertical plate. The dimensions for the vertical plate, you can see them here and make a screenshot if you like to. I opened the vertical plate, and now I show you the history of the vertical plate by pulling the end of the part straight to the beginning. So this is how I started. I have a look at the sketch. Those are the only dimensions you need to have. Please make that sure. I don't want to see anything else than those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dimensions. Please make sure that you made those lines here symmetric again to the center line here. Those can be symmetrical, or if you have problems with the length, you can also use equal length here as well for those two lines, and then you have the sketch done. I reused the sketch, entering the hole, entering the tapped hole. Now for the holes in the bottom, I created a sketch that looked like this. Make sure you only use 2 dimensions, and this construction line, if you make it, should snap to the middle of those vertical lines. You can project those vertical lines, go here by projecting and clicking those lines, and you have the length of the line here in your sketch to both sides. Afterwards, you draw a line that is straight in the middle of the part and then placing the dots. You also could extrude this part symmetrically and use the origin planes as a projected geometry, but this is also a way to get the job done. Afterwards, reuse the sketch, drill the holes, enter the fillet, and then you're done with the vertical plate. So if you found the video informative, please hit the like and subscribe button, and yeah, we see you in the next video. Bye.